Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. If you are new, my name is Lily and I'm a Chinese transracial adoptee. Every week I post videos about my experience as a transracial adoptee, so if that's something you're interested in, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and let's get into the video. Hey everyone, welcome back. I hope you're having a good week. I just have a short video today. I was out doing some window shopping, buying some new clothes for myself because, well, right now it is the end of August for me, but I was kind of revamping my fall wardrobe and just kind of treating myself. And it got me thinking about the topic of self-care. And this might be a short video because honestly, my thoughts on this are pretty straightforward and there was not much evolution that went on with this. But I see a lot of, I don't think I'd call them memes, but like the quote, self-care isn't selfish. And to me, I thought that was just like common knowledge. But I'm realizing that a lot of people do not schedule self-care in for themselves. And I'm using the term self-care as just like a blanket term to describe re-energizing, recharging, and taking time for yourself to make sure that you are maintaining a healthy lifestyle and really just taking care of yourself. And I guess I get kind of sad when I realize that people think that self-care is selfish and they have to remind themselves that it's really not, because taking care of yourself is something that should just happen. It should be something that you might have to schedule into your time, or maybe it's just part of your routine, but it's something that I try to implement for sure. And of course, there are going to be those times when work is very overwhelming and advocacy is picking up and I don't have time for like daily self-care, but I make sure that every part of my day has at least 30 minutes of just me time, whether that's reading a book, writing, just sitting, listening to a podcast, but something to kind of just give my mind a break and let me escape from the world, because the world is, especially lately, just really not a fun place to be in. With the social justice movements, they're very necessary, but also very tiring. And then you have the pandemic, and it's been a lot for everybody. And the fact that everybody is in it together, it's really hard to find the real support that we need, because it's hard to get enough support from someone who is also suffering or, dealing with the same thing, because you're both trying to lean on each other, but you're both also not at your strongest at the same time, if that makes sense. So especially with adoptees and adoptees speaking up and advocates and people who are just putting themselves out there in these really vulnerable situations, I think taking care of yourself is even more important. I think it's, again, necessary for everybody. Everybody's going through their own things and everybody needs to recharge. But especially when you're adding, not purposely, but you're exposing yourself to more potential toxicity and negativity, it's really important to take care of yourself. And there are times when I'm really bad at doing that. There are times when I'm really bad at prioritizing taking care of myself, because it is so easy to get wrapped up in the comments and the DMs and wanting to respond to everybody. Even if the DMs and comments are positive or someone just wanting to connect, it still is emotionally draining and tiring to respond to those, because I also have to put myself out there. I have to be vulnerable, and it can be a lot. Like, it's unrealistic to continuously stretch yourself in that many ways without ever recharging. And so, yeah, I call it self-care. Is just like, it's a generalized term that everybody seems to know and everybody seems to understand, that it's just a period of time or an activity where you are just focusing on you. But I don't know. Really now I just call it like me time, or just, no, I'm recharging right now. I'm taking a break from these things. My phone's off, my computer's off, everything is down, and I'm resting. And I don't know, maybe if we call self-care resting, people won't feel so guilty about doing it, but you've got to do it. Like, it's just so unrealistic to keep going and keep going and keep going without doing anything for yourself. And so, yeah, find an activity, find something that allows you to do that. I like to exercise, read, write. Sometimes I shop. Sometimes I will just watch Netflix, podcasts, music, sometimes cooking, science sometimes. It's just, you know, whatever area of my life is being particularly draining at that particular moment, I will take a break from it and do something else to recharge. And then I think another like misconception is that resting equals sleep. And for me, like when I'm being drained because of whatever, I could sleep for hours. Like typically I don't sleep that much, only like 5 to 6 hours a night. But if I'm being drained, I could sleep for like 12 to 15 hours and still not feel energized. And that's because sleep just doesn't give me energy and motivation. Like, yes, sleep is necessary physically, and it's when your body repairs itself, it's where your mind rests and repairs itself. But I have found activities that actually give me energy and motivate me. And usually it's reading. Reading gives me a lot of energy. And so I will take time to just read a few chapters and suddenly I am good to go again. So find an activity like that where, I mean, if sleeping is your thing, then totally do it. But find an activity that it's not just physically resting, but like you feel yourself gaining energy from it. And that's what I mean by recharging. Like you're not just taking a break, but you're actually gaining more energy so you can keep going and go at the level that you were before. So yeah, I mean, that's the video. Self-care is not selfish. Do not feel bad about taking care of yourself. And remember that it's necessary. So whether you want to implement this in your routine daily, weekly, monthly, whatever, you find out what works for you, but it needs to happen. And realistically, it's not going to happen all the time. It's not going to happen every single time you want it to happen, but you need to make sure that it happens at some point, because it is just, the world is too exhausting to just keep going without a break, and it's too exhausting to keep going without actually recharging. So please take care of yourself, especially now, because the times they're hard and there's a lot of negativity and toxicity, and just everyone is dealing with very similar struggles, and it's hard to find proper support when we're all not at our best. So thank you so much for watching. If you are interested in more videos, you can always check out these two right here. But other than that, thank you, and I will see you in the next one.